Hey, today is Monday, January the 30th, and I haven't done a video probably in 6 months. But those of you who have watched my videos before, I thought I would give an update to all 4 or 5 of you. You know that I like the cloud, the Ichimoku system, and you know that I live and die by the 50 EMA and the 200 EMA. Sometimes the simple moving averages, but just to not clutter the screen up too much, let's just look at the EMAs. The things that I look at are cloud support and the Chiku span. I look for the Chiku span, which is an indicator of support and resistance. For example, this would be tomorrow's support level for the Chiku span, and there's no resistance because it's free to move up. Just like this candle is free to move up, there's no resistance above this candle on a daily time frame, just a daily time frame. Look at my cloud videos, and more of it is explained there. Similar situation here, no resistance above the cloud. But anyways, I'm going to go through a whole bunch of different stocks, and I'm going to go through all of them, and I'm going to show you the amazing coincidences that are happening right now in the market and how well the cloud is working, the Chiku span is working, and those two moving averages are working. First of all, the Dow Jones. Where did it get support today? Right on the top of the cloud. So we would look for strength in a bounce tomorrow. Weakness would be support on the 50. And where would that be? Well, if we draw a line with the 50, right along with the 50 here tomorrow, where is that? That's going to be the Chiku span on the top of this candle. No, I'm not kidding. This is the way the Chiku span, this is the way the cloud system works. There's no coincidence here. The 50, 26 days back is support on this candle. Go figure. Now let's look at the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ resistance on the 200. SP 500. I put a yellow marker here because I was watching for support for the Chiku span on the 200. And where did we get? We got support today just above the 200. We closed right here. So if you put a green line there, we closed pretty much on the 200. So again, Chiku span showing the importance of, or its importance because it bounced on the 200, and that's where the day ended. Also ended at the 8 EMA for those who are 8 EMA aficionados. The Apple shows, look at this, resistance back here 2 days ago. That would have been Friday, at the cloud and the 50. When you get two things intersecting like this, a moving average and the cloud, it's a magnet for the Chiku span. I'm going to show you more examples of that. So Friday, resistance on the 200, and also resistance for the Chiku span on the 50 and the bottom of the cloud. And today we went down because we had resistance and resistance. Abbott is just losing its shit. But where did it get support today? Not quite at the bottom of the cloud on the Chiku span, but I would look for Abbott's next support because Chiku spans are working so well. I would look for Abbott to be providing support right here. That's not a Fibonacci line. I'm just saying I believe this more than the Fibonacci's right now. Bank of Montreal, love Bank of Montreal. Pulled back a little bit. No reason to, because it was taking off, and I bought it, sold it on Thursday because ex-dividend was today. I had more profit in the stock that I had held for a week or two than the dividend was going to give me. So why hold on to it? Got rid of it. It dropped on Friday. It dropped today because of ex-dividend. I started buying back again because the Chiku span is still above the 200, and the price is still above the 200 here as well. Now it could come back all the way down there, and I'll continue to nibble on as it moves down. If it has another down day tomorrow, I may not buy. I'll look for support on the 200. Caterpillar, free and clear. So right here was the signal for you to start buying. When the Chiku span got support on that candle, that was the time to start buying. And what happened? It did move up. So again, good indicator. Now you're going to see a lot of stochastic momentum indicators saying that things are overbought. Just about everything is overbought right now. So the cloud is telling us that it's good to buy. This is telling us that we might be a little bit overbought. So we're caught in that rock in a hard place. But then the whole market is tenuous with the Fed and world news and politics and shootings, what have you. It's all bad news out there. So naturally you'd have some indicators that be telling you to be careful and not to proceed too boldly. And that would be the stochastic momentum indicators. Cisco. I've been watching Cisco for a while. And Cisco today, support on the cloud. And where did it get its resistance? Support for Chiku span. The Chiku span today could have gone down there. So tomorrow the Chiku span resistance is going to be right here. So we might see another down day with Cisco, and support would be right there, right here. But 3 days on the top of the cloud is an excellent predictor. Devon Energy. I'm not buying that because it hit the cloud up here and has just followed the cloud all the way down. When you have a stock hitting the bottom of a red cloud, that's the inversion of the top moving average and the bottom moving average, where the top goes under the bottom moving average and the cloud turns red. I didn't buy it because I saw this pattern. Now, where did we get support for the Chiku span today? Look, no coincidences again. The 200 moving average today was also the 200 moving average 26 days ago. It's been flat for 26 days. Chiku span support on the 200. DWX is just an international spider fund, and I've been buying that. I'm going to buy a little bit more as it breaks out, but it is definitely breaking out. But again, you see the stochastic momentum indicators saying overbought. EFC, Energy, so Ellington Financial. This is I'm looking at the preferred stock of that. But before I dipped into the preferred stock, I wanted to look at the chart. Look at where the chart is. Ended the day at the top of the cloud, not on the 50, but the cloud. So the cloud was more attractive to buyers than the 50. But where was the Chiku span? 26 days ago, the Chiku span met the SMA, the 50 moving average from 26 days ago. No coincidence. Enbridge, love this stock again for great dividend. Look what we had here on Friday. We had resistance of the Chiku span on the 200. Today we've got resistance or near support, but 1, 2, 3 days with resistance on the 200. If you like the stock, keep an eye on it for a break over the 200. It's got a great dividend. EPD, Enterprise Partners. It's a mid-level, mid-system oil pipeline anyways, paying a good dividend. It's moving back. I still have that stock, but today it went ex-dividend, so that would explain part of the drop today. I'm going to hold on to this stock, but look at this. Here's a bullish indicator. The 50 is moving faster than the 200. That's a bullish indicator. ET, Energy Transfer, another good dividend stock. I'm waiting to buy this above 13.52. Pulled back today. Energy Transfer, let me just see if it had any news in terms of dividend. February the 6th is the ex-dividend date. I think it's paying like 6 or 7%. So it's a nice stock. I like it here. This is a bit of a wedge pattern in here that we're going to take a look at. Watch for the wedge pattern. So when I say wedge pattern, what do I mean by that? Let's draw a wedge. Let's just put a wedge in here with our fantastic motive wave tools. And a wedge looks like this. Now this, unfortunately, is not a good mark because that was the day when the market went a little bit crazy and some stocks had to be shut down. So we're going to ignore that day. Instead, we're going to look at this wedge pattern here and keep an eye on that. Um, what else can we look at? Let's look at IBM. IBM support on the bottom of the cloud lost both 200 moving averages, but look where it got support. Right back here, the Chiku span got support at the bottom of the cloud, right here on that day right there. Put a green line right underneath that point, and that is the Chiku span bounced off of the 200 back here, so that we were saved. IBM was saved by 3 days at the bottom of the cloud, which is still in an upward motion, but we have a reversing trend up ahead. So if you want to buy IBM, wait for it to move out of this cloud and for the Chiku span to break through this area of resistance right here. So I'm not buying IBM. MMM, what a terrible stock this is. Don't even talk about it. This chart doesn't tell us very much, except that it's one of the few stocks that have gone oversold in the fast momentum and nearing the bottom of its trajectory, or it's nearing its lowest, it's at its lowest last point where it bounced before, but it could go all the way down here. So the pain for MMM is not over, but it could be almost over. Altria, another good dividend stock, if you don't mind owning a cigarette company. Not ready to buy yet because it's below the cloud, and the Chiku span has been getting support at the bottom of the cloud where we got this green line right here. Let's look at a few more. Realty Income Corporation. It's a monthly dividend paying stock. I think this is the company that calls itself the monthly dividend company. And look at this. This is a stock to buy. Where am I with O? I have bought my maximum that I want to on O, but look at this positive sign right here. The 50 is moving to break up over the 200. Positive sign. Overbought, but nonetheless positive. If I were buying more, it would be over 68.31. So what do we take away from all this? The Chiku span is a great indicator. The cloud is a great indicator as well. I'd like to buy this healthcare investment company. It pays a great dividend, but I'm worried about the bottom of the cloud. If we come back and we look at this in 5 days, I suspect we're going to see resistance like this, because that's the way red clouds work, and we've seen it in other examples. Royal Bank, love Royal Bank. It's a good stock, ready to buy, forming a tight pattern here, overbought, but great stock to have. I'm holding on to that one. Simon Property Group took a big drop today, but it's still in a buy pattern. And we had this break of the 50 over the 200. We say that's a buying signal. We've seen it for a couple of other stocks, and it sure was right here, because when that event happened, the stock took off. Where was its Chiku span? Maybe 26 days back, it was right about here. So it was ready to take off, and it had no problem breaking through these candles. Took about a week, and then off it went. AT&T, other great stock. We've got to ignore this day right here. That was that crazy trading day where somebody forgot to shut off a backup system. But we've got the Chiku span fought the resistance of these candles, but when it broke out, and the stock forget this candle here, and the stock went from here up to there. That was earnings driven. So now we've got a bit of a wedge pattern happening here. This is a bull pennant, they call it, because this would be the flagpole and this would be the pennant formation. So we're going to keep an eye on that. It's past its overbought situation on the slow moving stochastic. So good stock to hold on to. Two Harbors preferred series. Don't have a chart for that one, but I should do a chart for just TWO. Two Harbors. I have the preferred stock, but here's Two Harbors itself. Look at that. It's just a great dividend paying stock. Don't know what happened here. I really don't. But with the 10 or 11% that this stock pays, you gotta love it. And it's in a buy position right now. Pretty soon the 50 is going to move up to the cloud, And when that happens, that's going to be a double event, which is going to provide great support for the 50, and the cloud will be great support for a potential bounce. Verizon, there's that silly day again. Now here's that flag pattern where you had the flagpole right here, right there, and that wedge pattern failed the wedge, but look at the 50. Got its support on the 50. 1, 2, 3 days in a row, and then it started to pop up. And where did the Chiku span have one of its days? Well, let's say right here, let's draw that line right at the bottom of that candle, and the Chiku span took a bounce off of the top of the cloud. Coincidence? No, absolutely not a coincidence. Last stock, WBA. Not ready to buy this stock because it's in the cloud. Think of a stock in the cloud as an airplane flying through the cloud. It can't see anything, can't see left, right, can't see up or down. Resistance on the 50 here, so it could see the 50, but it's sort of not ready to buy, but it is oversold. On the fast moving stochastic, it's moving up. On the slow moving stochastic, it's definitely oversold, and it's turning up. So that is a stock, if you want to buy it for its dividend, 3.56%, and you think that they've got a good healthcare picture coming up, go ahead and buy WBA. So that's the end of it. 16 minutes is way too long. Most people only watch for 4 or 5 minutes, but I wanted to include a lot of different stocks to show you the importance of the cloud. The cloud tells me where I'm going to get support, where I'm going to get resistance. The Chiku span, which is plotted 26 days behind, is subject to the same support and resistance. You can see the Chiku span here got support on the cloud. And you can see the Chiku span here got resistance on the bottom of this candle. So the Chiku span gets resistance from candles, from moving averages, from bottoms of clouds. It gets support from top of clouds, from moving averages, from top of candles. It's just a great system. Cloud, Chiku span, 50 EMA, 200 EMA, all of them are working beautifully.